From my understanding, Fiserv has a huge growth hidden inside its financials. So, what are their three segments and which one is growing the fastest?
Yeah, they have three segments. So they have fintech, they have payments, and they have acceptance. Acceptance is the one that is growing at 38% CAGR over the last 3 years. The company is expecting that segment to continue to grow up to 10 billion in revenue in the next 3 years. So fantastic, and that's the segment that contains Clover, which they acquired in the first data acquisition about 3 years ago.
Cool. So, what is Clover then? Can you give us an overview?
Yeah, absolutely. So Clover is a system that allows merchants to process payments, but it's a lot more than that. So the segment services SMBs, which means small to medium businesses. And they help with delivery, restaurants, retail, e-commerce, cards on file, employee management, marketing, financial. Just there are so many things that this can do, all contained into one system that allows merchants to buy all that in one system, making it easier for the merchant. As somebody who worked in the restaurant business, something like this is invaluable because it saves you so much time and money as you go to process payments and do so much more in your business.
What's their growth been like?
The growth in that segment has been ridiculous. As we can see here from the chart, the company is expecting them to grow to about 10 billion by 2025. If you go back to 2019, the Clover segment has grown from 2.5 billion to about 6.5 billion in 2021, which is a 38% growth. And the company expects that to continue. Frank Biziano, who is the CEO, recently said on an earnings call that he expects Clover to grow anywhere from 30 to 50% annually over the next 3 years, which is huge.
Incredible numbers. What's driving this growth?
There are several things that are driving the growth. Obviously, the product is fantastic, but they also have product penetration, payment volume growth, and new features and new unit sales that they keep adding to the process. So, one of the advantages that Fiserv has over their competitor Square, Fiserv has huge, huge relationships with some of the largest banks in the world, and they've been able to leverage those relationships to grow Clover not only in the banking system but also in the retail system because they have so many relationships around the world. It's not just here in the United States, which is Square is kind of confined. Clover is literally worldwide, and they spend a lot of time talking about the opportunities in Brazil. So there's lots of opportunity for Clover to continue to expand their growth.
Maybe kind of like a dumb connect the dots idea, but if you are a business, you likely have a bank account, and so it becomes an easy sell to go from bank account to, "Hey, we have a relationship. Here's who we recommend you process payments with."
That's exactly it. And the other thing about that, it's not just the relationships with the banks, but it's also relationships with other businesses that they have. So restaurants talk to each other, for example. And so if one restaurant is having success and finds that Clover is great for them, they'll recommend it to their friends. Or when new businesses open up, they'll go to other businesses and see that they have Clover in their store and will inquire about it. And it helps upsell or sell that system to other businesses.
Makes a lot of sense. How does that compare to Square? So you're saying Square does not have they have a different customer acquisition strategy?
They do. So Square started off as their base was very small businesses, the little dongle that you saw around on the iPhones. They've kind of branched into more of the small to medium business acquisition. And that's really kind of what they've been going with their seller app. And the company's revenues have been good, but they've stalled. And 3 years ago, they were ahead of Clover as far as the same kind of competitors for SMBs, and now Clover has far surpassed them in the last 2 years and has pulling away from what's going on at Square.
Is all very interesting. I think if investors are wanting to follow that rabbit hole, you've done two great videos already. You did one covering Square's growth drivers. You also did one that talked about Fiserv as a business in general and how they're disrupting fintech. I recommend people go check those videos out. Thanks for joining us today, Dave.
Thank you.